few days. Now, because of this controversy, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes with these controversies, but I had them on, and because of that, I wanted to hear what their opinion is. I would most certainly be open to doing that.
To all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch, regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal, Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of
and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told. Okay, this is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all the Hollywood drama. Oh, we've seen it all: cheating scandals, backstabbing co-stars, shady PR moves, but nothing, absolutely nothing could have prepared us for this. Joe Rogan, the unfiltered king of podcasting, has allegedly slammed Blake Lively with some of the most jaw-dropping accusations we've heard in years, and let's just say he didn't hold back. Nope, word as he took sides loudly, publicly, and viciously, and the person he's backing, none other than Hollywood sensitive king and wellness advocate Justin Baldoni. The whisper started off faint, just murmurs in a few Reddit threads, cryptic posts on Twitter, and blind items scattered across gossip blogs, but now it's blown wide open. Rogan allegedly tore into Blake Lively on his podcast, and the aftershocks are still being felt. He supposedly labeled her everything from manipulative to a behind the scenes tyrant, and fans are losing it. What could Blake Lively have done to make Joe Rogan of all people go scorched earth? That's the million-dollar question. Because behind the pretty Instagram photos and glitzy red carpet smiles, something darker might be lurking, and if the rumors are true, Rogan is done watching celebrities act holier than thou in public while allegedly wreaking havoc behind closed doors. When the episode hit, or rather when the claims about the episode started circulating, social media exploded. On one side, Blake's fans rushing to defend her with hashtags and carefully worded threads. On the other, Rogan loyalists insisting that the man just says what everyone's thinking and wouldn't come for Lively unless there was something there. But what's really got everyone's jaws on the floor is what Rogan allegedly said next: that Blake Lively has been quietly manipulating Hollywood power plays for years, dodging accountability every time someone tries to hold her feet to the fire. According to this alleged podcast rant, she's not just another actress. She's a puppet master, and let's be real, Rogan doesn't just go around naming names. If he really went in on her, there's got to be fire behind all this smoke. What's wild is the rumor that he was even referencing Baldoni directly, saying Blake tried to crush his reputation using smear campaigns, twisted narratives, and backroad deals. We don't have a confirmed transcript, but the people who heard it say the vibe was unmistakable. Rogan was pissed, and not the usual rant about government nonsense. Pissed this was personal. The big mystery is why would Rogan, who usually sticks to political hot takes, MMA fighters, and the occasional Hollywood Jab wade into this, could he and Baldoni be closer than we think, or maybe he just couldn't sit back and watch another so-called America's sweetheart allegedly destroy a good man's reputation. Whatever it is, it hit a nerve hard, and it's not just fans talking. Industry insiders are now digging deep, combing through past interviews, live streams, award show interactions, you name it, trying to find the exact moment this all started from the outside. Blake and Justin always seemed to be on decent terms. Both had polished reputations, both did charity work, both gave off that wholesome Hollywood vibe, but according to the whispers from behind the scenes, that image was all smoke and mirrors. Some claim it all began with a project. The two were circling something creative, potentially career-defining, but behind closed doors, Blake allegedly used her star power to get Justin pushed aside. Word is she didn't like his ideas, didn't like his tone, didn't want him having any influence. He was blindsided, crushed. According to source, he felt like it wasn't about the script or creative differences, it was about power, ego, control, and it didn't stop there. Apparently Blake started throwing subtle shade in interviews, you know the type. Those vague comments about actors who pretend to be good people but are chaotic behind the scenes. Fans started connecting the dots. Was she talking about Justin at the same time his supporters began speaking out, saying he was the target of a campaign to destroy his image without ever saying his name out loud? And then came the biggest twist. People close to Baldoni allegedly warned him, told him Blake has a habit of smiling to your face while plotting your downfall behind your back. Sounds like a movie script, right? But Hollywood is always stranger than fiction, and things only got messier as Justin's star continued to rise. He was becoming more than an actor, he was a director, a speaker, a voice for empathy and healing. And apparently that didn't sit well with everyone. Some say Blake felt threatened. Allegedly she started making calls, silent, powerful, perfectly timed calls, just to make sure his name wouldn't appear too close to hers in promo cycles, interviews, or guest lists. It got so bad that mutual friends tried stepping in. People made phone calls, private meetings happened, compromise was discussed, but clearly nothing worked, because the few didn't just stay behind the scenes, it started bleeding into the spotlight, just enough for people to start asking questions, just enough for Rogan to allegedly say, I've had enough now. Here's where the real bombshells begin, and what really haunts people is how well Blake plays her part in public, elegant, poised, effortlessly kind, fighting for charities, standing up for causes, but behind the curtain allegedly calculating, ruthless, unstoppable. There's even talk of voice memos, people, where she allegedly badmouths Justin, or worse, gives instructions on how to quietly smear his name. Nobody has those receipts yet, but even the idea that they might exist is enough to send fans into a spiral, because if those tapes leak, if they land in Rogan's inbox, we're talking Hollywood Armageddon. According to sources, someone in Baldwin's circle finally had enough. They reached out to Joe. They said, look, we've tried everything else, can you help us tell the truth? At first Rogan was hesitant. He knows Hollywood, he knows the risk, but when he allegedly saw the material, texts, calls, emails, he was furious. It wasn't just petty beef, it was sabotage. And Rogan, he lives to call out BS, especially from people who act squeaky clean while allegedly destroying lives in secret. So what did he do? He went off, allegedly launched into a podcast segment so raw, so brutal, it sent shock waves through the industry. Even before the full audio ever surfaced, people were quoting it, sharing it, decoding every syllable. He allegedly said what nobody else would, that Blake Lively is not the sweet Golden girl, she pretends to be that. She's been playing dirty, and that Justin Baldoni was just the latest victim of her game. So now with Joe Rogan allegedly lighting the match, Hollywood is officially on fire. Every podcast, every gossip column, every fan thread is dissecting this from every angle. People are asking, is Blake Lively really the mastermind behind Justin Baldoni's quiet downfall, or is this all just exaggerated noise in a fame-obsessed town? Well, if even half of these rumors are true, it's much deeper than petty jealousy. It's alleged that Blake kept her image squeaky clean while quietly feeding the press with poison narratives. Some insiders say she was calling in favors, getting Justin's name removed from certain talks, blocking him from important panels, and making sure casting directors thought twice before bringing him in. And the scariest part, it worked. For a while people stopped talking about Baldwin's directing work. His name started quietly disappearing from short lists. Meanwhile, Lively's projects kept getting press, clean, flattering, no pushback like clockwork. But Justin never fought back. Not publicly, at least. He stayed quiet, respectful, until boom, Joe Rogan stepped in and the whole thing exploded. And now everyone's scrambling. Blake's PR team is reportedly in overdrive, trying to put out fires. Whisper ref into outlets that none of this is true, that she'd never sabotage anyone, that the whole thing is being twisted by trolls. But it's not working because the dam has broken. People are digging into old interviews, old award shows, old behind the scenes videos, and suddenly those little awkward glances, the moments where Justin looked uncomfortable while Blake took over a panel, they're all being re-examined under a brand new lens. Then came the fans. Some of Blake's most loyal followers were left speechless. They'd supported her for years, loved her roles, admired her activism, but now they're not so sure. Some of them have even switched sides, saying if these allegations have legs, they can't support someone who'd sabotage appear so strategically. Meanwhile, Baldwin's fan base is rising like a tidal wave. They're calling for receipts to be released, for Rogan to post the full clip, for justice to be served. They want answers, they want accountability, and let's not forget the whispers about the tapes, those alleged voice memos, text messages, screenshots. If those ever hit the internet, if Rogan or anyone public is them, it's over. We're talking full career meltdown, because those rumored messages allegedly contain damning instructions, stuff like make sure the studio knows he's difficult, or leak this to your contact.